Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yep. uh, I am not going to be showing my face because I am still in my pajamas and I plan to stay that way. All right, you can hear me now. Good deal. So as you can see by my very skilled Canva thumbnail, we're going to be talking about some trash. It's, dang it. Yeah, if my computer doesn't die. Last time I went live, I've had so many issues with my, I think it's, I don't know what it is, StreamYard, my computer, the Wi-Fi, who forking knows, but hopefully it'll be better with no video. But yeah, today, you know how you just like hit your like limit with the bullshit? And you just gonna call it like I see it, you know? Like I can't I have to say something. And if you don't like drama, then shut this off right now. And the definition of what some people consider drama is just wrong. Like they're not right. Especially when you're in a real crime community, you know, like real victims died. Okay. Kids were literally like brutally murdered. People were murdered. I mean, it's just, it's so disturbing that you have to kind of, it's an oxymoron, if you will, with a bunch of fucking morons, you know, like it's embarrassing that, especially those that like live in Indiana, you know, that are covering the Delphi case. The murder, the brutal murder of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, for Pete's sake. Like, but first, before we get into all of that debacle, let's talk about Case by Gullible, because I've had it. And here's a piece of my mind. You're an idiot. Like you're an absolute gullible idiot that you actually believe Ashley Garth is innocent. Get the hell out. You have no idea. And you want to send your little Keith Kellogg's over to my channel to tell me that I don't know what the truth is? Guess what? The truth doesn't need anyone to believe it for it to be true. It just is. And the truth is, she's a murderer. She's a convicted murderer, and she's exactly where she deserves to be. And you using things like the girl from Delphi. Oh, wow. Like, that's low, because now you are using Delphi to get views for Ashley Garth. I literally can't. Then move on to, you're going to waste your money in a trip to come to Indiana and go to Newton County to get a bunch of like thinking that you're going to uncover her innocence, and then pulling dumbasses into it, like, oh, the same group that just so happens to believe that Stephen Avery Casey Anthony, the Memphis Three, are actually innocent, like that dumb crew, which is also the dumb crew that you see with Delphi, the free Allen idiots. What the hell is going on? Is this not disturbing to anyone else? Like, what in the actual fork? Like, I can't. So earlier this week, I am perusing the Justice for Ray Hainish group, and oh, who do I see? Which I did leave the group because guess what? Ray was murdered. Okay. Like his family has gone through the worst of the worst. And I'm not about to bring my drama into their group where this Amy chick, the girl from Delphi, Ashley Garth, is in there thinking that she's uncovering, like she's going to swoop in and like help them with Ray. Get out of here. You are not telling them anything that they didn't already know. And you want to know who told them that? Cheryl herself. As soon as she found out, I was there when it happened. They are fully aware, and that's the beauty of their relationship. And you throwing shade on a murdered victim, Nicole Bowen, is disgusting. Like, shut up, close your computer, help somebody that actually deserves it. She's got you snookered. How do you like that word? It's so ridiculous. I can't. So she's up in this group. I'm going to help. I'm working hard to help you get to the bottom of what happened to Ray. You know who's going to work hard to get to the bottom of what happened to Ray? The prosecutor, the good one in not in White County. That's who's going to get to the bottom of it, not some stupid YouTuber, including myself. I'm not going to get to the bottom of anything. Like, know your role, people. Like, we are not law enforcement. We are not prosecutors or judges or anyone else. Like, I am just a voice that is no different. Like, it's just absurd. And I'm done. I'm just over her. And the fact that, like, because what? Oh, well, I don't mean to upset anyone, and her voice is just, oh, I can't. And then I have to watch it because I want to help them. Like, I hate it that Ginger and Cheryl and their families who have gone through absolute hell. They face the worst day of their life. There's no worse day than your finding out that your child is dead. They're never going to breathe air again. You're never going to kiss them. You're never going to hold their hand. The worst fucking day of their life. And then it carries on and on and on before it's solved. And then when it's in the judicial system, and then at post-conviction relief in the appeals. And then you get some idiot coming along, making it all worse when they finally felt like they had a little bit of a reprieve. You know, like the first appeal done. No, she's not. Like the conviction, the jury of her peers and the ones that heard the entire case that was laid out by the prosecution and the defense said, you're guilty. She was sentenced, and that's it. Like, that you think you're going to uncover some big thing, and while you do it, you're going to drag Nicole and her family, and you're going to use Ray Hainish and his family to do so. Fuck you. Like, I can't. So over it. What's going on? What's going on in the chat? Yeah, I mean, what is going on? Um, if you want to come in here, like, just know that Gray Hughes Investigates is not someone that we're going to talk trash about, because he's about the only one that isn't. And I don't care what you think. Like, you think that he does A, B, C, and D. Well, you know what? Like, you don't have a good lens of being able to see through the BS and the manipulation of some of these creators. Gray has been what he is, and he's been the same way the whole time. And if you don't like it, then don't watch. But he's not going to change. And what he stands for is pretty much exactly what I stand for. And that's why I watch him, and that's why I'm a member. And if you don't like it, then don't watch me either. But if Gray, if you're in the chat, like, nobody better delete anything. It is what it is. If you don't like it, I don't care. I can't even see Jinx, so I don't know. I don't know why I can't see any comments from Jinx. No one better have blocked her either. Now, she does, I don't necessarily subscribe to everything that Jinx does, but I think that I don't know. She's not one we're going to talk about tonight either. Well, we've already talked about Case by Gullible ridiculousness. So let's jump into Snake, because that went on today, unfortunately. Caught that live. Basically admitting that he lied, that Julie Melvin did see he did show her the crime scene photos. And he says that she cried to him and that she needed closure. Are you kidding me? And it's such a Julie thing to say. Like, Snake's not smart enough to come up with that. Julie did it. Like, she went all the way to a bar in who knows where that he's apparently a bouncer at. What? That cracks me up. I can't. Oh my God. Go do that, dude. Like, go do that. Like, I don't like him. Don't like him at all. I am entitled to my opinion. I think that he is a piece of shit. Anyone that is like, he said this out loud. Well, I was supportive of the families until I learned that the Patties were making money off of their dead daughter at CrimeCon. And yeah, I do know that she's actually their granddaughter. She's their daughter. Okay? Just saying. And he's all indignant. Like, he's got a high horse to ride in on. Him and Murder Shit. They're fucking high horses. Like, he literally thinks he is mad. He's like, ooh, that ruffles me the wrong way that you would make money off of your dead daughter. Meanwhile, making money off of their dead daughter. Like, I can't. I hope if they make money, then they deserve anything, because like I said earlier about Nicole Bowen, Ray Hanish family, the Patties, the Williams, and all of their extended family, they have the worst day. When your child dies, there's nothing worse. And the shit that keeps getting piled on them, and for that stupid ass to think that he has a right to judge them about money. And meanwhile, people are like, you go, Snake, like, you're just the best. You see all these stupid idiots commenting. You're just like, what the hell is going on? What is going on? Like, what is happening? That guy gets to judge them and pass judgment on them. I hope they make money. It's who cares? But you know what? I was at CrimeCon. They were there, well, supporting Susan, who just wrote a book, and they're also there to talk and to be a support for other victims. You know what? The fact that they get up every day and do something that makes the world a better place. They have created a park, and you want to know why? Because they don't want Libby to be forgotten. The actual victim. Now, everybody's got a First Amendment right. Yeah. But somebody out there should be standing up for them with all these, well, it's your right to say whatever the hell you want. Well, it's my right to say whatever the hell I want, and you need to shut the hell up. Like, I'm so sick of it. Like, and everybody just acts like all of these YouTubers are great. What? He's a piece of shit. Do I think that he's right? Like, do I think that he's finally telling the truth about how all this leaking stuff went down, especially the Julie Melvin part? Yeah, I actually do believe him. Never liked Murder Sheet. Seen right through them. Can't stand their voice. Don't even listen. But they want to get on their high horse and be like, oh, you're, like we did. And that major news channels are using them as their source. What has happened to journalism? Like, those two are scum. And Rick is right. Snake is right that they have built their channel, their podcast on the backs of leaks. They went with it. I have it. I have one that doesn't say Murder Sheet on it. And I know exactly who I got it from. And so did a bunch of other people. And it wasn't them. No, none of them decided to go share it. Like, they're not special. They're not, I highly, like, it's so preposterous to me that people are out there that literally think that the defense, or not the defense, that the prosecution is going to like risk this whole case by leaking stuff to the Murder Sheet, when we are the people that are that the leak started with literally came out and said, hey guys, guess what? The Andy Baldwin, guess what? That leak did come from us. Still, these idiots try to spin it that somehow the prosecution is behind it when you have them literally saying, we did it. Like, we're responsible for this. We're responsible for what Woodhouse got. We're responsible for the press release we released in the very beginning of the case. We're responsible for that freaking long ass memorandum that is arguably, it's definitely an oxymoron, because in one way it's brilliant. It is brilliant. And I think what's brilliant about it is that it's so elementary, and it literally, it accomplished exactly what they wanted to do. The free Allen train comes in, and he's in this Westfield prison, and he's being, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Like, grow the hell up. And meanwhile, just the Patties and the Williams and their whole families just have to be thinking like, oh my God, like, is this real? Is this really happening? Do people really think, like, you know what? Like, go watch True Crime Web. He just did one that, like, it finally hit home for me. Like, what all of the, how he is. He just, here's the bullet points, and they're right there for you, nice and quick. And he laid out all of what we have, not what the jury or what will happen in court, but what we have, because of mostly the leaks and the defense. Allen's like it. Yeah, there is a presumption of innocence. But to go around like literally claiming a man is innocent when he's the one that keeps confessing. And so they laid this whole thing out for you of like, oh, it's the Odins. yeah, it's called monopolizing on the fact that I'm sorry, but that's just how I see it. Like they're brilliant in the fact that they monopolized this because you got to think this is a discovery that is so big and it's so full of every avenue that they have gone down, every suspect, every line of inquiry, and they picked this out for one. It's it's got everything, it's got conspiracy and cult and you've got idiots like True Crime Disaster, or whatever her freaking name is, just a sick lady, like literally like fell right for it. And then they want to turn around and be like these idiots that are they're defending, the prosecution and Judge Gull. Like they're such morons. Oh my God, shut up. I'm so sick of it. Like again, the truth is the truth, and it doesn't need anyone to believe in it, including me and including you. It just simply is. It doesn't have like it's not there is no party. It's just like this is what it is. Except for when it comes to the finagling, the way that the strategy, like it's strategic play. They're playing you, and I want this case to be above reproach for Abby and Libby. And it angers me that it's not. But don't sit there and tell me that this dude is innocent. Stop it. Like, I can't. Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating. So yeah, Julie, you are just the worst. Like I can't even, I mean, I have seen some like really bad people in my life, like Greeno, like, you just see these like horrible people, and then you see these wolves in sheep's clothing, and that's Julie. She's got this, just so sweet, and like, how could anyone ever think that I am a law-abiding citizen? I obey the laws, I uphold the laws, I support our president, like just goes on and like literally talks about herself, and pats herself on the back, and people just literally fall for her bullshit. How in the world is she still given anybody gives two forks what she has to say? Like she is just as much a con man as her little buddy, Greeno. She's upset. She literally compared herself. She anywhere you go, anywhere that you want to go, if you want to have Julie on, just know that she's going to interrupt the entire show to talk about her experience at the press conference that she was removed from. I want to go to that church just so I can shake that man's hand, that pastor's hand. That is so freaking awesome. Because it is his church. Yes, it's a public place, but it's like he can do that. Like I don't want her in here, and they scooted her little ass on out. I mean, it's priceless. So she gets on her high horse of like, oh, well, I don't have faith in law enforcement anymore. Look at the way they treated me, and I've just been nothing but fighting and fighting for justice for Abby and Libby. And Cody Patty is my what is he, like her sister's son that she gave up, and then is like all indignant at the Patties for raising him for her. Oh my gosh. Like I can't. And this the same one that like she's on the bridge with her husband getting like I'm pretty sure it was footage for Gray at that time. And you hear her, he says something. I think he said a bad word. And I mean, she loses her shit. I'll call See, you're ruining my stream. Like, legit. Like, how do people not see through someone that like treats their husband like you're ruining my stream? Oh my gosh. Ugh. She's so fake. And she goes around like this is what she said, that when the light comes in, like something about the like she's referencing herself to the light. God complex much? God. Literally, I'm the light. And it's saying she's also called Becky Patty Hillary, referring to Hillary Clinton. And how she made this big post. I'll share it in my community tab for you to peruse yourself of just the heinousness of her. Of course, it was quickly deleted because she has a narrative to push, and that's that Becky Patty is obsessed with her. Shut up. Shut up. Oh my gosh, I can't. You're the one that's obsessed with her. And like your loose connection to Cody, who wants nothing to do with you. And you're like, well, I didn't take those pictures of the girls of Libby in her casket. Oh, but you did share them, didn't you, Julie? You did go on Twitter and say stuff about forceps and forced abortion, about the way the crime scene was, and associate Dr. Korz's name in all of your ridiculousness. And then manipulate poor like Max Snowberger, this kid that doesn't even know how to see through you and your snake ass. Like it's just you just get like done. You're just like you can't. Like I can't. These people. Didn't she let Greeno inside? I love your honesty, Mel. Thank you, Ruckus, because we all know this live will not be monetized. So thank you very much, sir. Yeah, like it's just the cold truth, and it's unpleasant, and it's just unpleasant tonight, and I'm fine with that. And if you don't like it, oh well. Like you can't let like other people, like if you are so sensitive that me saying something about you is going to get you all up in a ruffle in your real life, like you should not be on YouTube. You should not have a YouTube channel. Like it is not for the faint of heart. And who cares? At the end of the day, like if you get negative comments, oh well, like okay. You can't be sensitive. You can't be offended all the time. I can't stand it. Like people that are just like so offended by everything. Like they offend me. I don't associate myself with people that are offended and that just live their life ready for someone to say something that's going to offend them. And oh, they're going to be able to, look down upon them, like get out of here. But you see a shit ton of it on the YouTube streets. I should have stuck with the podcast. It's a lot less of this ridiculousness. I don't know what happens where all of the idiots come out and then people that are actually credible give them a voice. Seeing the prosecutor's podcast have on the murder shits just was like, oh my gosh. Like I'm sorry, y'all, but like if you can't see through them and their almighty ridiculousness, then I don't have anything to say. Like nothing is going to fix what's going wrong inside your head. Like what is going on that those two are not seen for what they really are. Slimy, like, ew. If I don't know. Let's see what the chat has to say for a little bit. We're about halfway. Oh, go ahead. Wait, did I finish the whole snake Julie? Probably not. Yeah, so Julie's begged him for, I just need to see them, like the one that's obsessed with Becky. And it's so ridiculous. Like I don't even know what kind of a parallel universe we're living in where anyone would think that Julie Melvin is the victim in anything. Like she's so narcissistic and disgusting. Like it's so disturbing. But then again, you've got the manipulative, like if you just take a moment, take a breath from YouTube and go read some books, some like actual books by actual like doctors or psychiatrists about the art of manipulation and to be able to see through manipulative, narcissistic people. Like it's so disturbing. Kate Peace Fuel, thank you. She says, she hurts others so much and harbors people who get to continue to then abuse and harm others. That's not something I want on my hands. Yeah, and that's the unmarvelous Marv, who sits there with her big eyes looking all surprised all the time and not really saying much that's worth anything. But I can't with her. Like I know what she saw and heard. I know what she heard. And for her to like support Greeno is disgusting. And then she's in Snake's chat, all acting all high and mighty, like I tell my subscribers the truth. Oh, shut up, Marv. Oh my gosh. Like I can't with her. Like I literally can't. I mean, she's either the biggest idiot or she's not. And I don't think that she is. So for her to not be like, what is going on with the women that have latched on to Greeno? It's sick. Like it's so disturbing. I like, but for her to like be in the chat and act like she is above, I tell my subscribers the truth. Shut up. You don't. And then to like, I hear about victims and to pretend like you care about victims, but yet you are going to support a person that has victimized not only like real life victims of like his own family, his girlfriends, his children, on and on and on, but murdered victims and their families. Like, what? What is wrong with you? And anyone else that gives that dude 2 seconds of their time, like, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I've had it. Like, he is a con man. He is a psycho. In my opinion, he's psychotic. Like, he is literally a case study in psychopathy. Okay. And we'll find it, but what's Greeno going to do? I guarantee you he's going to double down. He'll double down and he'll be getting fake emails out real soon. And he'll probably just send them to you unsolicited of like, oh, that cold truth, which he'll say my name, address, and phone number again. And she thinks that I didn't have this interview. Yeah, because there's nothing about you that's ever told the truth in the past. So why would I believe you in this weird, overly edited, if you were going to have on that former FBI lady, Catherine or whatever, then it would have been obvious that it wasn't fake. And that is exactly what he did with the CeCe Moore interview. And someone's going to find it, but what will Greeno do in total Greeno fashion when he gets caught? Like he'll double down and he'll create a bunch of fake emails. You watch. That's what we're going to be seeing in his community tab soon. It's because it's a part of his pattern. It's what he does. I'm not psychic. This is just literally like there's a playbook for his type of personality, and that's how I'm able to know what he's going to do. Like it's not rocket science. The guy is a complete douche. And he's also, I don't know if anyone has noticed, but what drugs make your pupils stay dilated when you've got a bright light shining in your face? Because whatever drugs those are the ones that he's probably on, because that dude's pupils are blown the fork out. But send him your money. Oh, and make sure you do it to PayPal so that he gets it right away, because he's probably homeless. And then he's going to need a new green screen soon for the 5th time. Like, it's so ridiculous. I mean, we could be here all night, you know? We could literally be here all night. Yeah, Incog, like he has. And Incog will appreciate this one. Guess what he's trying to do again? His old, the dude sticks to his MO, his pattern, but he's wanting to get a podcast together. He needs some reliable, gullible idiots to help him grift off of you. Oh my gosh. So he's trying to start up the whole podcast thing again. And, like Incog and Chaotic, myself to an extent. Yeah, me. And what's that one? What's her name? March for Justice, what's her name? I can't remember. It's like gone out of my head. But he lashes on, like, leave the captain alone, dude. And definitely leave his wife out of it. Oh my gosh. He literally had Captain made a video. The poor guy can't do anything without Greeno trying to leech onto him like he's like a freaking succubus. But see, that's a part of his pattern. He will leech onto credible men in order to boost his believableness, or whatever you want to call it. Like, he has a pattern, and it's so obvious. And I'm so sick of people not being able to see through it, because at the end of the day, like, we are not investigating. Like, people literally will tell me, like, why don't you stop talking about Drano and being all dramatic and solve the Delphi case? And the funny thing is I literally think that there are creators out, like a vast majority of them, they literally think that they're going to solve cases. Like, I can't. I can't. Go solve. Why don't you stop being so dramatic and talking about Greeno and go solve the Delphi case? Get back to the Delphi. I have never I have followed the case from day one, but I have not covered it. And I definitely haven't covered it incessantly. Like, that's not what my channel has been or ever will be. Have I covered it some? Yeah. For me personally, in my personal life, the case it affected me. But that like, I don't have a channel. The way that I feel that I can most help the Patties and the Germans and the Williams and the rest of the Abby and Libby's family is to call out the bullshit, to call out these idiots that are making their life worse. And you should be doing it too, if you truly care about victims, because that's somewhere where we can have some influence. Like, that's what we can do. We can bring awareness, we can support the families, and we can call out the bullshit. Start doing that and get off the stupid train of all of these channels have been popping up left and right. And this bullshit, like, unraveling and goosey and just God, they have an agenda, people. And then meanwhile, they're gaslighting you by saying that you have an agenda. You're all, I hear them say like, people like Gray and whoever else has anything supportive to say about the prosecution or Carroll County or the guilt of the alleged Delphi killer, Richard Allen, that you have an agenda and you're working for the prosecutor and like the Carroll County. And, these are the same idiots that literally think that Ray and others are throwing signs. Like Holman is literally like holding his hand in a triangle on purpose. Are you kidding me? Shut up. Like, I can't. So this chick, this true crime disaster chick, like this is my theory. I think that she legit thinks, because she's not all there and she's literally she's just a horrible human being, and she has a pattern too. She does this. If this was really how she felt, why is her agenda always the same? Whether it's Delphi, Idaho, or any other case, she's going to throw shade on the victims and the victim's family. Like, her pattern is ridiculously obvious. She's a piece of shit is what she is. And people just, oh, you're so great. Thank you for being the truth in this untruthful world. Like, what? So this chick, from what I have deducted from just reading her community posts, is she thinks that the Freemasons or whatever, like the Masonic law, the Freemasons are covering, because the Freemasons are people like Holman and Nick McLeland and apparently Gray too, and that he's working for the prosecution and the Patties. Good God. Like, that they're all this like Masonic cult, right? And so the Freemasons are covering up for the Odins. What? The Odins did it. And so you've got the Freemasons who are going to go to bat and like cover up a crime for the Odins. What is going on? They think we sit around and conspire and think of what to say. Yeah, like it's so ridiculous. But if you have anything that is the first thing that's going to happen when you've got a bunch of people that are right fighting is they're both going to be targeting each other and like, look at them, look at them, look at them. And these people are going to be like, look at them, look at them, look at them. And meanwhile, you've got to be able to sit back, take it all in, and make a decision for yourself. Use your own brain. Like, what makes sense? And I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that the Carroll County and the prosecution and whomever else is above reproach and they're doing everything right, and I am just like, I can't say that, but I support them. I do. And I don't care. Call me an idiot. I do not care what you think. I literally don't. If that's not obvious by now, I don't know what is. But turn the lens around on them and shine a light on the hypocrisy of the narrative that they're trying to spin to you or about you. Do that. And if you can say, oh, they definitely don't have an agenda or a narrative, then we'll talk about it. Except you're not going to find it. You're not. Like, I can't. All right, let's read some comments. Jill Moser, hey, I just love Cold Truth because she tells it like it is. I am the same way. Take no BS. I will call you out in a heartbeat. Yeah, you just get to those days where you're just like, I am so over it. I don't care. Zero forks given. Go read that article. So many people need to read that article because people will think that I am all letting this affect my life and I need to go and take a break or whatever. Like, no, not this shit. Do I get disheartened by what happened in the courtroom with Anthony Dabaya? Yeah. Do I get disgusted with the vermin of YouTube and the leeches? Yeah. Yeah, I do. But there's a difference between letting it be. This is not my life. Like, this is not my whole, I do so many other, like, this is a side project, for me. Like, this isn't, I get fed up with the bullshit and I say what I want and then I move on, and if you don't like it, oh well. But like, this isn't, you don't need to send me an email and be like, I think you should take a break. This is really starting to affect your, no, like, you don't know me. You don't know me at all. Like, I'm over it. At the end of the day, none of this bullshit affects the case. There's just nothing going on with the case. So people are focusing on this crap. Yeah. Yeah. And there's so many people that are just hook, line, and sinker, like, it's so disturbing. People don't want things to make sense. They like chaos so they can put any theory into it. Yep. Do you notice that factual people get attacked way more than conspiracy crazy people? Yeah. And that's the thing that I wanted to say earlier when people like get offended and attack Gray Hughes. Like, what? Can he be a butthole sometimes? Yeah. Like, he's called me out for like making stupid comments. And guess what? Like, I went to bed. I was like, yeah, that was stupid. Like, why did I even say that? Like, what was I thinking? Like, but people like, oh, he's such a bully. Meanwhile, you've got snakes crawl. Like, what? On Gray's worst day, he's never threatened to kill someone's kids and out there like whole entire private life and threaten their, whole family. Like, what the fuck is Snake thinking? Like, dude, you were the one that shared the screenshot of you and Greeno's conversation where he literally said, I will kill your kids. Like, I will kill your family. And then to back up that fact that he does know, he sends Rick Snake a screenshot of his wife's information on like Fast People or whatever, one of those search engines, and then you want to get on and have a show with him? Huh? What? Oh my gosh. What in the hell is happening? And like, people are they're so offended by Gray but yet they let like these kinds of people, they're not offended by them. They're not offended by the hypocrisy of like, what did you just say? Like, oh my gosh, I just can't. Hi, Angel Bear. Yeah, I know. You are someone that I just really value. I know I could just say, oh my gosh, girl, what is going on? And you're going to be like, I know. I can't either. Hey, GP. Hey, Daisy. Yeah, I'm on one ruckus. I'll tell you what, I'm creating a ruckus. We are all in on it. Yeah, incog. Yeah. It's just a big conspiracy with the, you know, who knows? Like this thumbnail and like me holding my hand up going, what the hell? Because that's the face I'm making. If anyone can't tell, it's like, huh? What is going on? Is this real life? Are we in a movie? You know, like, are we in a movie? Like, I can't. This can't be real life. Like, this is this really the day today? And but I'm, me holding my hands up like this is probably going to be some kind of a rune. And if it's not a rune, then it's probably going to be some Masonic sign or, like some crazy ridiculousness. Oh my gosh. It's so ridiculous. Hey, Amy. How are you, ma'am? Anna, good to see you. I always enjoy you in chats. Good to see you. So those sticks weren't runes, but they were Masonic signs and tokens. Inquiring minds want to know. Like this is just what I deduced from reading through her community post. It seems like she thinks that the Freemasons are covering up for the Odins, and that's why Richard Allen is the scapegoat. He's innocent and he's, that's the Freemasons and whatever the hell they are, like, I don't know. All I know is we rent out the Masonic Lodge quite a bit growing up. Seemed just fine to me. Like they have weird little hats, but like, I don't know. And I mean, it's just, it doesn't compare to like white supremacy. Oh, fun fact. Let's go ahead and dish this out too. Julie Melvin. Why don't you tell inquiring minds how you know Brian James? Huh? How do you know Brian James? Oh, and don't try to tell me he's reformed. Please. Please. That dude. Oh, yeah. I would like to know Julie Melvin. The white supremacist, like literally started his own racist hate group in high school. Something, the Whites of Knightstown or something, some kind of cult he started. He is the epitome of a Jim Jones, like, like that dude is. And so then, he moves on. He was in the KKK. He's Hammerskins, you name it, Vinlanders, Soldiers of Odin, American Guard, and a slew of other ones. And guess what they all have in common, though? Racism and bigotry and him. Like he likes to swoop in, cause a little ruckus, and then steal members and then be the leader of the new group. But he is a con man and he's psycho and he's a racist, like a huge, like, and then you have like what is the connection to this dude and Julie Melvin? I'm guessing it probably has something to do with the way that he's trying to spin his new like this is a group that literally, like, if you really know, like there's some idiots like Meow, like, oh my gosh, I feel bad that like Flora's got that to deal with, like she does bring awareness, but man, she's annoying as shit. And that I'm, like, what is wrong with her? Like, I don't get it, but she always acts like she knows more than anyone else. And it's just like, what are you talking about? Like, I think she really thinks the Vinlanders, and I mean, I said it a long time ago. I think those groups should be looked into for the fires, Flora included. But like, I can't with her. She is just annoying as all hell. And she's just not that smart. And those are the dangerous people, the ones that think that they are highly intelligent. Always look out for people that think they're super smart. Like, I don't care what your IQ is. I don't care what your pedigree is or where you went to college. Most people are educated beyond their intelligence. Do you know what that means? Go watch Good Will Hunting. That's what that means. You got a bunch of people that memorized a bunch of shit from college textbooks, but they're not really that smart. Like they're educated beyond their intelligence. And they just, ugh, they wear me out. All right, let's look at some more. Oh, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Like higher than anyone known to man. What did he? I can't wait. Like, oh my gosh. I bet he said something in like the 250s or something, like something completely like, what was Einstein? Like 180? An IQ is like, it's not that special. If you've taken an actual IQ test, like it's literally not that special. Like having an IQ, if it's not effective, like an effective IQ, the one that you can implement in your daily life, it's useless. you know? But I highly doubt. Just like how he's going to win a words war with you. Oh my gosh, like that's hilarious. Maybe you should stop in his bar that he bounces at next time you come into town, because I'm sure that would be a funny sight. I can't I can't even imagine. Hey, Ivy. How are you? My question is, do 3.5 degrees make at least one hole? Hey, B-Rad. How are you? Is an outdated measure for overall intelligence anywhere. There's different kinds of intelligence. Yes. Ivy and I have talked about this. She actually does have the license to be able to have an opinion on this particular um, vein of conversation. But you're not going to see Ivy out there like holding it over people's heads. But the chick is super, super smart, you know? But you're not going to see her showing like her degree and this and that and like talking about herself like some crazy Julie Melvin, like freaking Snay. Like, gosh. Ruckus. What's Ruckus say? RA said that he was there, admitted he was dressed like BG, was on the Hoosier Harvest Store video, confessed, and has evidence that places him there. Right. Free Richard Allen, though. Come on, Ruckus. Get on board. Get on the free Richard Allen train so that you're not a dumbass. Like, they literally think that they're smart. Like, these people literally think that they're really on to something, and we're the idiots that think he's guilty, Oh my God. I can't. Julie has a book about herself. What? That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Hey, Otto. Hey, Johnny. Well, we all know this much. This case is, where'd it go? This case is um, going on in real life. There are still suspects. Would you agree to that? Agree, chat. Yeah, I mean, that's what they said. Like, it's still an open investigation, and there are other actors, if you want to get very specific, like, but we're not gonna investigate it, and we're not gonna like be the ones that like that's not our job, But I get what you're saying, Johnny. it still doesn't have any bearing on the guilt of Richard Allen, you know? Like, that's going to be for the courts to decide, possibly a jury. But like, that's out of our control, you know? And you falling hook, like all, not you, Johnny, but like the people that are falling hook, line, and sinker for the bullshit train that the prior defense have mapped out. Like I mean, they're good. They just were sloppy, you know? Like, come on. Why, what can you not see about the way that they handled information that is a travesty to justice? It's not how any of this works. And I don't need a law degree to know that. Like, come on. I don't get it. Ugh, I just don't get it. And you're just like, what is the why do people do what they do? Why? You know, what is their what is going on inside their heads, you know? Like, really, really think about it. I am so thirsty. I'm going to pause for 1 second. Like, I'll be right back. Sorry that I don't have anything entertaining. Hopefully the chat can like talk amongst yourselves or cause some ruckus up in there, and then I'll be right back, okay? Right, Incog? Just when you think it can't get any crazier, there's a new word invented. Like, there needs to be a new word, like, for how crazy it is, because it's like the word crazier is just it's not good. It doesn't quite quantify, like, it doesn't it's more than that, you know. You're like, oh, okay, like it's in the adjudication phase, like it's gonna get, you know, it's gonna trickle down. No, it sure did ramp right up. And every single week, it's something else. And you're just like, what is going on? Like, why? Uh, it's sad. It's what it is. It's sad and it's disturbing, is what it is. And people are more, you know, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, like, I take offense to, yeah, offense. You know how I hate that. So it's kind of a joke, but like, it is offensive to my sensibilities for people to lump me in some group that I am some puppet of anyone. You don't know me at all. Like, I am not anyone's puppet. And I'm going to come to my own conclusions, and I'm going to admit when I'm wrong. Like, because that's life. Like, so, you know, when you're wrong, and you should admit it, you know, not double down and like, ugh, just over it. Hey, Burn After Reading, good video earlier. You guys need to go check him out. Like, talk about just someone that just kind of, although the start of every video, dude, scares me half to death. still to this day, and I've been watching your videos for over a couple years now. The music just it always gets me. I like it, but it just is like, what? It's like that startle effect every time. But he did a video earlier today and nailed it. Yeah. Hey, Carol. How you doing? I'm with you on goal. I don't understand the need for more time. It's either available or not. I just see it as like it's just I think that it'll all hope to God, like it's gonna I'm not gonna talk about it anymore because it's super frustrating and my opinion doesn't it doesn't really fucking matter, Just doesn't matter. But I think it's just stop and think about the fact that 2 little girls were brutally murdered, Like, imagine if that was your daughter. Can you do that? Can you imagine if that was your daughter? I don't want to imagine that. Therefore, I can empathize with them because I am a mother and, like, I can't imagine, like, and they've had to get up. They've had to get up the next day after the worst day of their life because I'm sorry, no, I'm not sorry. There's nothing worse than the loss of a child. There's no greater pain than that. And then to lose them to a murderer who people want to get out and like support, like what is happening? I can't. I can't. I just feel really bad for them. I feel really bad for them. And there should be more people calling out the bullshit. No one I have at my channel is tiny, like it's insignificant. But if we could all just, be a little bit more reasonable and think, then maybe we could all make a difference and like people will see these scumbags for the scum that they truly are, like that's how we can help, we can just fight back against them. Ugh, it's sad. Yeah. Oh, you just said the opposite of forking. Yeah. Rich Page Odin document somewhere, I think. I did read it, but now don't remember where. Do you have that? I haven't seen it in a writing aside from the defense's 136-page debacle. Yeah, I'm game. I love talking to you. Hey, Steffa. How are you? Yeah. I know. Yeah. in a world where, like, because the way my brain works is like it's all organized up in there, and like I have a good memory probably because I'm dyslexic. So like I was given a good memory to kind of make up for the dyslexia, but like I am so disorganized when it comes to like showing my work. Like, yes, I was the nerd at the library. I know all about references and sourcing and all of that. But when it comes to like the Greeno trail of like showing all the like evidence of, because nothing is off limits when when you encounter a Greeno, because then you have to like doubt the validity of anything that you see, because it's just like, dude, get a job. Like, to spend so many hours falsifying like court documents and faking emails and messages and stuff, like he could probably be successful at something if he put just as much work into something legit like a job somewhere, um, than the time and work that he spends to be to lie. Like, it's so nonsensical. It's just, it's horribly hilarious. They are saying in the interview it said that he may have said that. I believe he likely did change his story in October, but in 2017 he said 1:30 to 3:30. Yeah. Yeah, well, the defense said that. I think I have it right here. I don't remember if they had a time, but their little press release really shot themselves in the foot on that one, didn't they? What is going on? Oh. State of Indiana versus Richard Michael Allen. Oh my gosh, this thing is getting long. Okay. They said Rick is a 50-year-old man who has never been arrested nor accused of any crime in his entire life. He is innocent and completely confused as to why he has been charged with these crimes. The police did not, underlined, contact Rick after Libby German and Abby Williams went missing. You don't have the right to call them Libby and Abby. Like, what? I can't stand those two jokers. I really can't. Like, I see through them just like I see through Julie and Snake and Greeno and all of them. And I'm sorry if you can't. Rick contacted the police and voluntarily discussed being on the trail that day. Like many people in Delphi, Rick wanted to help any way he could. Rick contacted the police to let them know that he had walked on the trail that day, as he often did. Without Rick coming forward, the police probably would not have any way of knowing that he was on the trail that day. So shut up, Snake, about Dan Doolin. Yeah, I think he's a crooked little weasel too. But the fact is that Richard Allen backs up the fact that he gave the statement to Dan Doolin. Like, discredit Dan Doolin all you want. I believe he deserves it. I think the guy's a piece of shit. But on this, you have the defense and Richard Allen saying that he did have this conversation with him, and this is how he places himself there. And isn't it quite convenient that the Odins are there? Guess why? why they picked this Odin other than the sensationalistic conspiracy, gets all the nut jobs going, gets them all up in a tippy, is the fact that it fits their future narrative of why their client keeps confessing. The Odins are threatening him. Like, you really think that? Like, that's, but it's brilliant because it worked. And then the fact that they want to leave, they want to burst into the court. Like, God bless Judge Gall. I know people like think she's made mistakes and maybe she should have made things public that shouldn't. And she's probably kicking herself under her, bench right now for not embarrassing those two fools in open court in front of cameras that they asked for. Like, they asked for it. They quit. Like, she didn't do it. Like, I don't know. But then you've got, them two bursting in, we're going to pro bono him or whatever. And whatever, however you feel about that, I get it. I can see why people are like, ooh, yikes. But it doesn't change the fact that they like were so reckless. And the Indiana Code, the law of trial court homicide, like whatever it is all called, like the gross negligence, the repeated offenses that they have, they don't. She did the right thing, because the easiest appeal, and usually the first appeal, is ineffective counsel. And what about your Fifth Amendment right to, what's it called? You have the right to like choose your own counsel, but there is a bylaw in there that I think is the reason why she's like, I can't, like I can't, because you have a right to a fair trial. Yeah, duh, super simple. And with those two being the head of, like, okay, we'll put some quotes around it with a huge eye roll of inadvertently leaking stuff. He's going to be able, at appeal and post-conviction relief, ineffective counsel, and your Fifth Amendment or Sixth Amendment, what is it? Your right to a fair trial and a jury, from an unbiased, impartial, that's what I'm trying to find, an impartial jury, is shredded because those two are just letting it all out. Like, what? The streets of YouTube and Google Mail is not the place where crime scene photos have any business being, It's sad. It's sick. Oh, but okay, I don't see where they say the specific, like, time in here. But I do bet that they were kicking themselves for their big straight out the gate press release, if you really understand how it effed them up, like it screwed them over. But what do I know? He's going to be able to appeal over her not allowing them. Yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying. We've talked about it, and I just don't, it's like a lose-lose at this point, and it's intentional, in my opinion. The lose-lose and the intentionality of the lose-lose is what. Just as easy to appeal, allowing incompetent counsel to defend him. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying, is just like, And so right out of the gate, the ineffective, that's usually the first appeal, is the ineffectiveness of your counsel. And then the not having a impartial jury of your peers, is a huge one that would be definitely meted out by whomever his appeal, lawyer is, which is usually when you're, as soon as the judge sentenced you, the pro bono, if it's you or your defense attorney, will immediately start the initiation of your appeal, your first appeal, But if you plead guilty, you cannot appeal your own guilt. Like if you say I did this, you cannot appeal that, but you can appeal the sentence that you were given. Just FYI, that's how the serial killer David Penton was able to go on and become a serial killer, because he pleads guilty, but he appeals his sentence, and those idiots decided to let him out. Like while he's awaiting the appellate decision on his sentence, the dude immediately goes on the run and becomes a serial killer, and it happens quite frequently. Like, put more on record. Yeah. What's going on, Ernest? Abigail and Liberty were brutally sacrificed in a ceremony, not necessarily at the Monon High Bridge. What? Hey, Lake. I don't know. I just, I don't know about that. There's no, it's easy to just to make a statement, like a whole true crime disaster does all the time. But what is the proof of it? And being able to categorize your own proof and put it into its proper category of basically, put a rating on it of what, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm getting tired. I'm going to go. Hey, Randy. Hello, Cheryl. You'll like the beginning of this video. Yeah, I've had it. But, yeah, that chick is just so annoying. Oh my gosh. Girl from Delphi. I can't. That just as Ange would say, that burns my biscuits. Just yet another grifter. And it's been snookered by freaking Ashley Garth of all people. I don't know. Her mask is gonna slip. We got a front row seat, literally a front court row seat to her mayhem. you had to be there, you know? And that's the thing is like not a lot of people were because it was COVID and like there were times when the judge like oh, that's another one we could talk about, freaking open secrets. I literally saw this comment. Do you think that someone had like it's so dumb I don't even know how to re-say it. Basically that she was framed for running over the motorcyclist and fleeing in her car, the vehicular manslaughter or whatever vehicular homicide that she's charged with in Michigan. That like because she was shining a light on Garrett Kurtz at debacle, like that they framed her. Like, no, she was already facing those charges long before she started talking to Garrett Kurtz on the phone and claiming she was, you know, like trying to help, like, get out of here. God, I saw right through her too. Like, gosh, it doesn't take anyone special to be able to be like, you're a snake. Like, it's just watch what people do over a period of time, you know? Good Lord. Like, literally, how in the hell, like, it's that stupid ass prof. Oh my God. Dear Lord, that guy is, it is, I, the prof. What? Oh my gosh. Wanting, like, how dumb are you? Like, really? Come on, dude. Put your I want to gather all the names of everyone that got the um crime scene photos. Like, what? Shut up. Good Lord. I don't know how anyone can watch that guy. Like, what is going on? What is going on? I can't even that's like a whole nother live. Okay. Good Lord. He's thinking he's got it all figured out. Like, what? You are a talking bobblehead. Like, I can't take him seriously at all. Like, it is so insane and asinine. And he thinks he's like really figuring out stuff, you know. He's all into the meth heads of Carroll County. Like, I can't. You're so far behind, dude. Like, do something else. You're not good at this. Like, you're just not. The biggest shock surprise. Where'd it go? Comments keep floundering. The biggest shock, surprise, and disappointing thing to see is Copbacks agreeing with True Crime Disturbed. Yeah, like, what is happening? I I never really liked Copbacks. I know you did, but I don't know. There's something not right about the dude. I can't put my finger on it, but he's definitely no Steve from True Crime Web, you know? Like, Steve is just, in my opinion, he's just the shit. Like, he is amazing. And like, you can just, I don't know. There's just something about Copbacks that always was just like, mm-mm. But I know that, yeah, that that was something. Oh boy, what's going on with Ruckus and Gray? Yeah, I saw that, Freckle Joy. Gosh. Hi, Hybrid. Hey, Digital. Exact time RA said he was on the trails. I don't buy it. Understand that yeah. The prop, what does he offer? I don't know, Carol. Like, it's just like oh, don't even get me started. I mean, it's just like it's so asinine. It's like not even worth like talking about. That's why I was gonna add him in here, and I was just like, no, I can't. Like, I just can't even. He just, like, huh? What? Got another hour? Oh, geez. Be careful what you wish for. So Doolin stood on stage in 2017 and couldn't remember talking to the guy in the photo, but 6 years later, without the benefit of written or audio notes. But see, that's the thing, digital, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't like the guy either. I think he's awful, but it doesn't matter. Richard Allen says that he talked to him and told him this stuff. And then he tells that to his attorneys, and his attorneys released it in a press release in November, like, so yeah, that happened because Richard Allen and his attorney said it did, like, that's all I think. Hey, chaotic. Hey, Glitter Bean. Yeah, Freckled. He says that he's gonna release all of your text messages, your messages back, just so you know, in a community post. But hey, you know what? Like, I think that whatever you said, like, I don't know, and I don't, like, prompted that live where I think the snake actually did shed some light on the underground of like the leak and like the whole. I hope that people start to see through Julie, because if you remember when Greeno asked him that, he said, he said no, like it caught him off guard and he didn't understand what airdrop was. Well, this is funny. This is what I did earlier, so that I could prove this point that I would forget to bring up until now. But I can totally see how that's possible, because I was like, hey, babe, can you airdrop me those photos from the wedding? And he said, what the fuck are you talking about? Huh? And then he was standing up and I was sitting on the couch, and he tossed his phone next to me on the couch and he goes, there you go, airdropped. He doesn't have a clue what airdropped means, so he's just like, what the fuck? Airdrop? What does that mean? And so he just took his phone, he just airdropped it right onto the couch, like, there you go, there's the photos from the wedding. It was funny. But yeah, like, if you have it, so I have my computer and I have my phone, and I can go to my photos and I can select, like, I'm going to select just how you would select photos that you're going to send in an email, right? Or put into a folder. So you do that same thing. And then if you have a device that is that can connect to another device, I'm pretty sure it has to be iPhones. I don't think, because, but it'll say airdrop. So basically you can just drop them to the other device without having to create a PDF, a folder, or an email of something and select them and then send them that way. I do it all the time, because I don't like, I'll record something on my phone, and then the recording is like too big to send to myself. I know this is crazy, but like, I need to get this video from my phone to the computer. but the file is like too many gigas or whatever the hell that stuff is to send it, in an email from my phone to my computer, to myself in an email so that I can open it on my computer. So I airdrop it from my phone to my computer. And that way you don't have any of this, like, there is no trail of it either. So I can totally see where, Snake would have no idea that Julie was sitting there looking at them and airdropped them all to herself. I can totally see where that is a possibility of what happened. And let's not get lost on the fact that Julie called and called and called and called and begged and begged and begged for him to let her see these photos, and drove all the way to the opposite side of Indiana, like maybe not total polar opposites, but close enough, so that she could view these photos, these crime scene photos of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. That is really forked up. Okay? That's really forked up. Let's not lose sight of that. The forest for the trees, so will you. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's not going to be over, but wishful thinking. Yeah, he really is. Hey, Frank. What's up, dude? You don't? Yeah, well, yeah, like I'm doing it right now. Like I'm selecting, going in my photos, I'm selecting, actually, I'll select the dilated pupils of our man Green O, and I'm going to airdrop it to my computer. It just says airdrop, and then there it pops up the name of my MacBook. And now I am sending. Did you hear that? The ding ding. So now it's kicked me off of my StreamYard, and now it's showing me where I have this new image that I just airdropped to myself. So let me go and pull that up. I meant to do this earlier so that I would be able to have the chat, like memorialize it for anyone that wants to go back in and delete their messages. Stand on what you say, just saying. What's going on? Why is it not working? Maybe it's because I'm like, have this picture up. Hold on. I think I sent the wrong one. Not very clear. Listen for it. The airdrop. Ding ding. Hear that? Yeah. The pictures aren't showing up very well, but you can go back and look at him yourself. Like his pupils are freaking huge. With a light shining on you. What? Hello? I guarantee he's going to be like, I went to the eye doctor and got my eyes dilated. Like, okay, Greeno. You don't even have a home. You're going to tell me you have insurance to go to the eye doctor? Remember when he told everyone he was like legally blind? There's always something that guy is up to that's so ridiculous. But yeah, so that's like airdropped. I wish I should like take a picture of it, but yeah. But yeah, so is there anybody that's found the real place that he did that interview yet? Or the real person that did that interview with the Catherine? Because I have a sneaky suspicion that is fake. He did not interview her. Come on. Stop it. I'm off like a prom dress. Oh. Y'all ruckus. Mayo. Hey, dude. How are you? Thank you. Man, where'd that comment go? I'm off like a prom dress. Oh, here it is. I'm off like a prom dress. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night, all. Get with me, Gray. Instead of hearing your opinion of me from others, you can talk directly to me. I'm really not an idiot. Yeah, you're not. Hey, Charmaine. Glitterbean, Randy, Daisy, Sport with Steppa, Freckle Joy, Boston Christian. Hello. I wondered where you were. Oh, Randy, when is the Flora walk? So on a Sunday, I think it, can't remember the date. Hey, CJK. Good night, everyone. I have to go. Me too. Thanks, Mel, for your continuous stance. Yep. No one's going to have to wonder where I stand. Just ask. Oh, has he? Auto man. Oh, yeah, CJK. Definitely catch up on the replay. Oh, Jinx, November 19th. Okay. November 19th at 1. So that's like next Saturday, right? Yeah. Right? I don't even know. What happened to October? It just raced right on by, and it didn't even. October and November are my favorite. I love fall. And like half of October felt like summer. We got in the pool. My brother has a pool, and we got in it in the beginning of October. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, old Greeno better freaking leave. Leave Captain alone. Good God. It's so obvious what he's doing, you know? What was I doing? I was doing something. Shit. Oh, I was putting that in my calendar because I'm going to try to come to that. It's a Sunday and I don't work on Sundays. My daughter is going to be in town though, so that's my only thing. Maybe I can talk her into coming with me. um, yeah. Yeah, it's a Sunday. Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, and it's not like, oh, you're welcome, Julianne. Yeah, if I remember correctly, well, I think you just told me and I've already like spaced it. Charmaine, thank you. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, Mel. Believe it or not, I found your delivery quite respectful. Well, thank you. In the Flora parking lot at the old train station. Okay. No, 1 p.m. Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I said what I said. Not going to delete this. Don't worry about that. Share it. Hopefully, it can reach the reasonable people of the world. Maybe help them to because sometimes I find this in life, where you just need someone to be just to call you out of huh? And and maybe just being honest, telling people the truth about how shitty they are. Maybe they'll just be like, oh wow, that actually was a pretty shitty thing for me to do. Maybe I won't do that anymore. That's the people that I'm always I'm trying to reach, because some of them are so far gone, they're so self-absorbed, like Julie Melvin and Greeno and them. You're not gonna, you can't reason with unreasonable or just outright psychopaths and liars. You just can't, and that's why I will never do an interview with Greeno, because I know better. That type of personality, you can't there if you are a normal reacting human being, you should be careful as to not do that, to not entertain someone that you consider strongly to be a psychopath. You can't, because there's a inhuman quality to dealing with psychopaths, because they lack normal human emotion and connection, such as empathy, and they can mimic, they can mime, but they don't actually have those emotions. So when you do, doesn't mean anything bad, but it just means that you need to know when to hold them. You can't put yourself into that kind of a situation, because it's dumb to do so. Let alone, I would never give him any kind of a platform, and it pisses me off that people have him on his channels. Why is this guy still around? Why are people telling him, saying ridiculous things in his comments? I don't get it. He tries to insert himself. He's the third party. He's the one that flashed up on his screen and trying to get, now we know, trying to get the the crime scene photos from Snake because he didn't have them. He's a liar. He didn't have them. He did not have them. But in those messages where he's wanting to get on his stupid high horse, which is hilarious, that the criminal, the habitual criminal, is going to get on a high horse and like say that he's calling law enforcement on you. That's hilarious. That's funny. But he told Snake in the messages that Greeno showed as his, like, see, look what I did. If you read the one right above it, he was like, I've had them for a month. Let's create like a coalition and do the right thing. Like, no, you weasel. He was trying to get them out of Snake. Like, send me what you have so I can see if it's the same as what I have. And then he's trying to say that he was gone, like taking a break because he was mentally disturbed by those photos that he saw out and sent his Julie to seek out for him. Get the hell out. I can't. All right. I'm going. Good night. Thanks for listening. Hope it helps somebody. Later.